talk about things that can cause fire outbreak when you driving.
Now, aside from the fuel aspect, we have electrical wires on cars. We know that one negative wire bridging one positive wire can lead to a spark. From that, you have fabrics around the car, you have flammable materials around the car that once the spark touches any of those things, it can cause a fire. You have a battery on the car. We have so many things on the car that can lead to a fire. Now, when the manufacturer designs a car, he makes sure that all these things are in their own section. There is what we call a catalytic converter.
Yeah.
It is inside the exhaust of the car.
They call it Indomie here.
Yeah, they call it Indomie.
Yeah, you once mentioned it on the show.
Okay.
See, I have last memory.
So it's inside the exhaust of the car, and it is designed to convert harmful gases into non-harmful gases. That is the major job that it's supposed to do.
Okay.
Now, aside that, it also helps to keep a little bit of positive back pressure on the exhaust. That is where my exhaust is not, or my car is not consuming fuel because I have a catalyst story comes into play. Now, the catalyst will eventually get blocked after a while, especially with you using substandard or adulterated fuel. It will eventually get blocked. Now, when it gets blocked, it's like somebody that has a cold and has a stuffy nose. Once your nose is blocked, you can't breathe properly.
Yeah.
So
you have to use your mouth.
Exactly. When that continues happening, the exhaust gases start to accumulate in the exhaust, making the exhaust become so hot. It's going to get so hot that the materials that the exhaust is made of from will start glowing red. Remember that the exhaust passes under your car. Under your car, you also have a fuel tank.
Yes.
So once the heat becomes too much, it's going to start melting things. Most people, their fuel tank is plastic. There are some that are iron,
yeah.
Most of them are. Once it starts melting, we have some cars have this material that is placed under the car to prevent the heat from the exhaust from getting to the car. That material too can eventually catch fire if it is exposed to very, very high temperatures. So that is another example of something that can cause a fire outbreak. You have fuel, you have poor electrical installations, and then moving away from the regular fuel to cars like the hybrids.
The electric vehicles as well.
Hybrids and electric vehicles, just like the way I said about the electricals, if you don't do proper your due diligence around these things, you can have a fire breakout from your battery overheating. The high voltage battery has a limit to the temperatures it should get to.
How best can we prevent fire outbreaks in our automotives, our cars?
I won't stop preaching routine maintenance because it's just like a human body. If you go to the hospital on a regular, even when you are not feeling sick, they will be able to see when something is.
Doctors.
Yeah, they'll be able to see when something is. That's when, I remember a car coming to the workshop once and the fuel was leaking from the fuel injectors. That is a recipe for a fire to happen. So routine checks are very important. Then make sure you are dealing with a professional.
Okay.
It is important, especially when you are doing electrical work. Make sure you are dealing. I have seen people do electrical work, join wires and not tape them properly. The heat from the engine would eventually make that tape lose its gum,
melt, yeah.
And then the wires are exposed. So you have a case where a bulb, let me even give you that, a bulb, your headlights can cause a fire to start.
Bulb.
Because you have the bulb hanging down, not properly attached or fixed, and it's rubbing on the plastic under the car or even on the bumper. It's going to gradually start melting. It will just start doing it gradually. You are driving, you won't know. Eventually, that gradual burning will become something more. And before you know it, kaboom.